Hi, it's Gab, and
it's Dad.
very happy to have Dad back.
I'm back. I've been traveling here and there.
Should I call you Captain Philip?
You could call
Dad's
Captain.
name is Philip, by the way, and we happen to be
You can call
reviewing...
me Captain Philip.
I had a feeling you'd like that.
Yeah,
and we're reviewing...
or just the Captain.
Captain Philip.
Just the Captain.
Okay, Captain, my Captain.
Yes.
Tell us about Captain Philip.
Captain Philip is based on a true story. Well, it's not even based on a true story. It's the telling of a true story, and it has to do with the capture off the coast of Somalia of a container ship in 2009 by Somali pirates, and the subsequent kidnapping of the captain of that ship, Captain Phillips.
Captain Philip, played by Tom Hanks. And this film is directed by Paul Greengrass, who's known for a couple of the Bourne movies, Going Mobile, and United 93.
Oh, the movie, Let's Go Mobile,
yeah.
One of my favorite all-time movie lines. Let's Go Mobile.
And there's a lot of going mobile in this movie. So a very fitting director, and obviously a great, arguably a great actor. Great. Yeah, so a true story and very action-packed, so that's a pretty good combination. What did you think?
Well, it's one of those interesting films when you know what's the outcome, at least I knew the outcome. Because I remember reading about it in 2009. It's like the film about the killing of Osama bin Laden. You knew he was killed.
Yeah, well, like any true story, historical. Yeah. Although I didn't really know this story. I assumed the ending, but I didn't know for a fact. And we're not going to spoil it.
No spoiler alert. Yeah. But even though I knew the ending, because I remember it from reading about it in the newspapers, nonetheless the film maintained a high level of tension very effectively. Yeah,
well, there's a lot of details, of course, that even if you know the story, you wouldn't have known, because it shows you right from the inside what happened beginning to end. And it puts a face, Tom Hanks' face to this character. So it definitely draws you in, whether think you know the story or not.
Yes.
Tom Hanks was great. He was believable.
Very believable.
He was
very
sympathetic.
Tom Hankish.
Well, Tom Hankish, but that wasn't a distraction. I believed him as this captain, and he was likable, but he wasn't played a victim. He wasn't too smart, too nice. He wasn't Hollywoodized up. I don't think.
But he was clever. The character he played was clever.
Yeah,
clever.
Certainly he was portrayed as clever, and that was the part of the movie. The movie is sort of in two parts. There's the part that the main hijacking that occurs on the big ship, container ship, and then the part where he's taken hostage in a small lifeboat. And I really liked the part on the ship, because, as you say, they showed a lot of cleverness. He and his crew trying to outwit there was only 4 Somali pirates, but they had guns, so they were in charge. But the little trying outwitting and cleverness and things that went on in the container ship, I found very interesting.
And there was some interesting
and well directed.
Yes, and there was some interesting aspects of the film too. Obviously the Somali pirates are the bad guys. They were prone to violence. They hijacked the ship and so on. But at least one of them, and maybe even more than one of them, were in a sense portrayed somewhat sympathetically. The people from a very poor, desperate background. One of them, the leader actually of the pirates, his big ambition was to get to America, which he ended up getting to America, but not quite the way he envisaged. There was a somewhat sympathetic portrayal of these pirates, even though they were behaving, shall we say, badly.
Yeah, you could say that. Pirates behaving badly.
Pirates behaving badly.
And you could say there was a bit of a simpatico relationship between the leader and Tom Hanks. Which is sort of typical in these sort of hostage, the whole, what's it called?
Stockholm Syndrome.
But there was a bit
but it's the reverse of the Stockholm Syndrome.
It is, yeah.
Because the Stockholm Syndrome is when the captive starts identifying with his captive.
Yeah, it was maybe a bit of
in this case, a little bit of the reverse. The head pirate captor started sympathizing and maybe even in some ways identifying with Tom Hanks, the character.
So that relationship was interesting. It gave us sort of another level to this otherwise very basic, dramatic, very linear story, very tense.
Yeah, although it did have, I think, particularly as I think about it, some interesting kind of psychological overtones, the relationships between the captain and his captors, between the Somali pirates themselves. Mm-hmm. There's more to this film than just, an action thriller.
No, definitely not. And actually, what I was going to say is in the second part that takes place mostly on the lifeboat, it's not really action-packed. There's a lot of yelling, a lot of sort of dialogue of Tom Hanks looking tense and anxious.
Upset. He was upset. I think it's fair to say he was upset.
Yeah, I think he was a little distraught. And so, I mean, the tension was there, but I felt that was a bit too drawn out. And then, of course, the Navy and Navy SEALs get all involved, and it becomes a bit too, I mean, I'm sure it's factual.
Cliche,
but it felt like once the Navy SEALs start parachuting in, I was rolling my eyes a little bit like, here we go.
You were waiting to see Steven Seagal suddenly show up. You know, but
The Walk. Which, I mean, it's a Hollywood movie, so you can't help but feel like, here we go. But if it was factual, I can't fault it for that.
Okay, so how many gaps?
It was very well quality made film, and I felt very drawn in. But at the end of the day, it just lacked a little bit for me. I was a bit bored at parts. Yeah. And I don't think it's any sort of classic I'm going to be dying to revisit anytime soon. Might be award worthy, but not. I don't think it's a giveaway for awards.
No, but Tom Hanks is definitely going to get nominated Best Actor.
But I think I have to go 3 4/5 Gabs.
What's with the 4/5?
Not quite an A.
What's 4/5?
Just under an A.
What's with 4/5? This is something new.
Look,
I go away, and I come back, and there's like 4/5 all of a sudden.
4/5 to starboard side.
4/5, yes. 30 degrees to port. I would give it 4 dads.
Okay, so
good film, enjoyable.
Because you related to the captain aspect.
I liked his name, Captain Phillips.
Well, we're glad you're back. We're going to keep you hostage so we can have you back for some more reviews.
Good to be back, folks.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Bye-bye.